Ni hao. My name is Ma Lao Shi, and today I'll be giving you an informational presentation on Chinese regional cuisine. So if we want to talk about Chinese food, we should first start by talking about what makes a good Chinese dish. So in Mandarin we have the saying, 四香味俱全, and this refers to the concept of a dish looking good, smelling good, and tasting good. If a dish achieves all three of these criteria, it makes a great Chinese dish. So now when we talk about Chinese food, we can actually get deeper and talk about regional Chinese cuisine. So for this we have the 8 great traditions of Chinese cuisine, or 8大菜系, and this is 8 prominent provinces, all with their own unique tastes and culture. Those being Shandong, Jiangsu, Anhui, Zhejiang, Fujian, Guangdong, Hunan, and Sichuan. So today we'll be grouping these 8 provinces into 3 groups for simplification. Evolution of 八大菜系. So it started about 2,000 years ago, when you could see a difference between northern and southern cuisine in China. But then in the Qing dynasty, we got 4 great traditions, those of Guangdong, Sichuan, Shandong, and Jiangsu, Yue Cai, Chuan Cai, Lu Cai, or Su Cai. Then about 75 years ago, there were added 4 more traditions, those of Anhui, Zhejiang, Fujian, and Hunan. This is Hui Cai, Zhe Cai, Mian Cai, and Xiang Cai. So the first group we'll be discussing is the group of China's bold and spicy foods. So these come from the provinces of Sichuan and Hunan. Some common ingredients here to get the bold and spicy include chili peppers, Sichuan peppercorn, ginger, garlic, and soy sauce. So why do people here eat spicy? That's because the climate here is very humid and hot. So in the summer, the humidity, a lot of extra moisture can get stuck in your body. So eating hot is a way for the people here to sweat and get rid of that moisture. Some similarities between the regions of Sichuan and Hunan are that they are both home to basins and rivers, and their agriculture is both similar and fertile, and home to fertile land. Sichuan, the flavor here is called ma la, which means numbing and spicy. The numbing is achieved with the Sichuan peppercorn, which they've always had, and the spicy is achieved with the chili pepper, which they have not always had. It was actually imported about 200 years ago from the Americas. Some techniques in Sichuan include pickling and fermenting, twice cooking, and dry frying. Moving on to Hunan, the flavor here is gan la. So gan means dry, and this is achieved with minimal oil. La again means spicy, and Hunan is actually spicier than Sichuan, and they achieve this with raw chili peppers, whereas Sichuan might use dried or fermented chili peppers. Techniques in Hunan include smoking, curing, and layering. And stir frying. Now moving on to some popular dishes. First, let's talk about Sichuan. So Sichuan is home to the 火锅, which means hot pot, and theirs is especially spicy and even numbing. So hot pot is basically a bowl at the center of the table filled with boiling broth, and around it are some condiments such as soy sauce, meat, mushrooms, noodles that you can all dip and cook in the broth, and it's very delicious. They also have kung pao chicken, which is pronounced gong bao jiding. This is chicken that has been stir fried in soy sauce, in the chilies, and in peanuts. And both of these, if you eat them elsewhere, probably won't be as spicy as they are in Sichuan. For Hunan, they have the popular dish of Mao's braised pork belly. So this is called Hongshao Rou, and it is Mao Zedong's favorite dish. It is pork belly that has been braised in Shaoxing wine, sugar, and in the spicy peppers. In other parts of the world, you might find, or even China, you might find that this is sweeter than it is in Hunan and less spicy. They also have changsha sticky tofu, or chou tofu. This is deep fried tofu that's been deep fried until the exterior is black, though the interior is still nice and creamy. And of course, it's served with a side of chili paste because we need to eat spicy in Hunan. Our next region is China's fresh and savory flavors, and these are in the provinces of Shandong, Jiangsu, Anhui, and Zhejiang. Some common ingredients here include fresh seafood, river fish, meat and poultry, and some special ingredients like Shaoxing wine. What makes this region special? These places are heavily influenced by the rivers around them, namely the Yangtze River and the Yellow River. As you can see, the Yellow River runs through Shandong, and the Yangtze River runs through Anhui and Jiangsu. These rivers help provide the region with river fish and fertile land. What makes these provinces similar is their fertile plains, their coastal region, their flavor, and their seasonal ingredients and special ingredients like mushrooms, bamboo shoots, and river fish. Some key differences between the four. So Shandong has a huge peninsula which gives it access to many freshwater and many seafood dishes, as well as the river which gives it freshwater fish as well. The flavor here is savory and bold, and some cooking techniques include deep frying, roasting, and braising. Now moving down to Jiangsu, this is the flattest province in China, and the land here is very fertile. In fact, 3/5 of the arable land is allocated to rice paddy fields. So Nanjing, which is the capital of Jiangsu, used to be the capital of China, and that makes the cuisine here very delicate and refined because of its influence in court cuisine. Some methods here include braising, simmering, and slow cooking. Now, Anhui is the only landlocked region in the four. This gives it access to much forest and mountain produce, while also having access to the Yangtze River. The cuisine here has been heavily influenced by traditional Chinese medicine. Now, lastly is Zhejiang, which is another coastal province with mountains. They're home to some special ingredients such as bamboo shoots and Shaoxing wine. The taste here is very authentic as well. So first up is Shandong cuisine. They have Shandong braised prawns, or 有bao da xia, and they also have sweet and sour Yellow River cup, 汤醋黄河鲤鱼. So this Yellow River carp has been deep fried, which gives it a crispy exterior, and then dunked in some sweet and sour sauce. Now this kind of method of oil crisping and then dunking in some sauce is very common in Shandong. Moving on to Jiangsu, we have Nanjing salted duck, or 洋水鸭. This is kind of a representation of the delicacy of Chinese, of Nanjing as the court cuisine. So this is just a cold salted. It's served cold, and it's a salted duck. Next up is steamed stew dumplings, or 小笼包. This is a very popular dish, especially in Jiangsu, but also in Shanghai. And it is a pork dumpling with soup in it, so be careful not to poke it with your chopstick, or else the soup will fall out. Next up is anhui, or hui cai. So here we have the smelly mandarin fish, or 臭鳜鱼. Why is it smelly? That's because it has been fermented for 2 to 3 days in a cold and ventilated area. But don't worry, it's still safe to eat. It's not rotten or anything. Over here is hairy tofu, or mao tofu. So this tofu is hairy. You might ask why. That's also because it was fermented. So that's kind of Anhui's thing, because the climate is so humid here. It makes it perfect for fermentation. Lastly, in this region, we have Zhejiang cuisine, or 芥菜. First up is dongpo pork. Now this pork has been braised for hours in Shaoxing wine, soy sauces, etc. and it's very soft and tender and kind of melts in your mouth, and it's still very delicious. Next is beggar's chicken. So this actually has an interesting backstory. Long ago, a beggar stole a chicken, and in order to hide it, he prepared it, wrapped it in a lotus leaf, and then buried it in clay. And that's what you can see here. Instead of lotus leaf, they have styrofoam, but, you know. So when he came back later, he dug up his chicken, uncovered it, and it was cooked. It had been cooked underground, and it had been boiled in its own juicy juicy chicken water, and it was very delicious, so they made it a staple dish. Lastly, we have braised bamboo shoots, or youmensun. This is a perfect example of Zhejiang cuisine because it shows off two of their special ingredients, namely Shaoxing wine and bamboo shoots. Lastly, we have China's pure tasting foods, which come from the provinces of Fujian and Guangdong. The area is again coastal and with a subtropical climate because we're in the south now. Food here is authentic to the main ingredient with minimal seasoning, and some common foods here include seafoods and soups. Regional background of this area. So Guangdong is China's #1 leading province in exports. Ingredients here include seafood like shrimp, crab, and even anything with 4 legs. And then in Fujian, this is kind of China's powerhouse for production. So they have huge fisheries along with massive crop growing industry. Some ingredients here include mountain herbs and fish and seafood. So Guangdong's diet, this is what Guangdong eats. They have nangua tang, which is pumpkin soup, and they also have pidan, which is century egg. So you might have seen this egg. This egg has not been hard-boiled, it has rather been chemically cooked. So it's put in an alkaline liquid, which raises its pH to above 9, which gives it this look. So the inside becomes kind of creamy, and the outside turns black. But don't worry, it's still safe to eat because it's been chemically cooked. In Guangdong, they're popular all around the world for their dim sum, or in Mandarin, tianxin. What is it? It is little handmade, handcrafted dishes that are meant to be pleasant to your taste buds. Not so much to fill you up necessarily, but they will. So over here we have shrimp dumpling, or xiajiao. Over here we have feng zhua, which is chicken feet. And over here we have xiaomai, which is another dumpling. Now these are the Mandarin names. In Guangdong they would use their Cantonese names, which are a little bit different. Then we have Fujian cuisine, or mian cai. So this is their most popular dish probably, which is Buddha jumps over the wall, or fo tiao qiang. It's made with meats, poultry, sea cucumbers, and even shark fin. And the reason it has that name is because it's said to be so delicious and so xiang, so fragrant, that even a Buddhist would break his vegetarian vow to try some. Now, moving away from China, we want to talk about some American Chinese cuisine. So how it started was in the mid-18th century when Chinese people, mainly from Guangdong, came to California for the gold rush. Now, at that time, around 1882, America enforced a law called the Chinese Exclusion Act, which caused many Chinese to lose their jobs, so they had to become self-employed and open laundromats and restaurants. The authentic food then was adapted for the American taste to suit a wider audience. So did you know these foreign invented Chinese foods? First up is crab rangoon, which is an American invention. Next up is General Tao's chicken, which was made in Taiwan for an American audience. Next up we have the popular in Chinese restaurants, the fortune cookie, which is actually a Japanese invention. Lastly, we have orange chicken, which was actually invented by Panda Express. All right. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned something new about Chinese regional cuisine. 谢谢大家。